Welcome, everybody. We are back for another Total Image Woman of the Week, and I have a wonderful guest today, and I'm very excited to talk to her. So if you have ever, how much time have we all spent in our own homes over the past year or so? A lot of time. And we have to realize that when we look around our homes, there's a certain energy that we get from them and a feeling that we get from them. And certainly over the past year or so, we have wanted to feel truly at home when we're, resting in our living rooms or working in our offices or whatever it might be. And sometimes we can have a hard time doing that on our own. I know that when a number of years ago, like 8 years ago or something, I stopped selling makeup and skincare. And so when I thought about my studio over here, there was a big makeup table in there and huge shelves with all this makeup and skincare on it. And I got rid of all of that. Oops, we lost our guest. Hopefully she'll be back in a minute. Anyway, I'll finish telling my story. And I thought, okay, now I have all this blank space there. So what am I going to do with this space? And, I can dress people, I can dress myself, but when I walk into a store and think about furniture, like, Crate and Barrel or Home Goods, or I don't know, wherever Ethan Allen, wherever people go shopping for there we go. Here we go. Let's get her back up here again so you can all see her too. Hopefully she'll stay on, but
yeah.
I know.
Hello. I don't know why I'm disappearing.
That's all right. I was telling this little story, so
okay.
It was fine. I knew you'd come back. And so what I did was I actually hired somebody to come. I did not know Risha at the time, and she doesn't really live near me, but I hired somebody to come and help me with that office space or studio space since I was changing it so much. When I walk into any of the furniture stores, my eyes glaze over. Like some of my clients feel when they go into clothing stores. I walk in and go, oh, purple chairs, love those. Let's do that. Oh, gold chairs, let's do that. And finally, I just confuse myself so much that I just leave and I get nothing. So I find that having support around this really helps us to love our living space and to really make super wise choices. Now, our guest today, I met Risha through the Vegan Women's Leadership Program. We do networking there. And I was immediately intrigued by what she does. Some of you may recall that I recently wrote an article for the American Vegan Society about bio-derived leathers, the alternatives to animal leather. And so there was a little bit of information in there about, a lot about clothing, but just also about car seats and chairs. So there are fabrics out there that are not harmful to animals that are being used more and more and more with our clothing, with our homes. And Risha is a fabulous high-end interior designer. And she really works with people to make choices that are more sustainable, that are animal friendly. And so I was intrigued, and I had to have her on for us to talk about this because it's where the world is heading right now. And so, Risha, you are on the cutting edge, and I welcome you. So we have a lot to talk about. So welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to see you, Ginger. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
I'm excited about this. We're going to have a lot of fun. And Celeste is watching. Hello, Celeste.
Hi, Celeste.
Yes. And so, Risha, tell us, what do you do? I've already told them a little bit, but clearly not as well as you can tell them. What do you do, and why do you do what you do?
So I'm the leading expert in vegan interior design, and I create beautiful, luxurious residential interiors that don't utilize any animal products. I look for products that can replicate the look and the feel of the animal products that are used prolifically in luxury interior design. And my goal is to create a beautiful interior with wonderful energy without sacrificing any design aesthetic or client's choices on their interiors. I do it because I haven't always been vegan, but when I became vegan about 6 years ago. I wasn't eating animals at that point, or any animal product. And I thought this is great. But as an interior designer, I quickly realized, wow, I'm not eating animals, but I'm selling them. Man, that's hypocritical. What the heck? So I said, I need to align my business principles with my personal morals. And I started speccing and creating interiors that did not use animal products. And that's, it's made me really happy because it aligns what I believe with what I'm doing. And I also believe that it's not just about beauty. It's in having a wonderful interior space, a home that supports you, is that it should be functional. That's really key, because if it's not working for you, what's the point? It should be beautiful and it should express who you are. But it should also feel good, and those come from vibration, from the energy that you're surrounded with. And if you're surrounded by things that come from a place of violence or torture, or not good feelings, I mean, you're going to have those feelings around you all the time. So it really was like, wow, this is a great way to do interiors, because it's about feeling good. Your home should support you. And so this was just like another step to the kind of interiors that I want to create for my clients.
I love it. I love it. So can you, and hi, Karen. Karen's watching too. Risha, can you tell us, because not everybody knows this. People know when they're, well, I think most people know at this point, when you're talking about food and veganism, that you don't eat meat or eggs or chickens or any of those kinds of things. But what are some of the materials in interior design that come from animals?
Sure. It's funny, because when people first hear about vegan interior design, they're like, oh, well, you're just talking about leather. What are you talking about? And yes, leather is probably the most well-known piece that is, product that is used in homes. So of course, we know it comes from the hide of animals, and there's only, and so that is probably most well-known. But there's so many other animal products that we use that we don't even think about. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I knew what they were. So one of them, which, and so if people say, well, I don't have leather in my home, I'm probably pretty good. Probably not, because one of the top ones that we use in our homes is down. We use it in stuffing of upholstery. We use it in our bedding for pillows, duvets, throw pillows, etc. So there, probably everybody has some down in their house, and not even thinking about, oh, it is an animal product. So that would be another product in your home that is an animal product that can be found an alternative for it. A third product, which is pretty prolific, is wool. And wool, of course, comes from sheep, and we use it a lot in carpets or in fabrics, upholstery fabric. So that's a third place where you would find an animal product in your home. And then there's, these animal products have such cachet for a luxury home that, people want to use them because they have that cachet to them. And it would be something like silk. Silk is an animal product. Like, silk? What? I don't know, but what silk, like, why is that bad? But the fact is that the silk worm cocoons itself in its little, home. And the only way to pull that thread out to have a beautiful long thread is that you have to boil that silkworm alive. So yeah, it's terrible. I'm like, what?
Really?
I heard about that stuff too. So I didn't know that they were killing silkworms to do this. And I thought, but so silk, or silk is another one. Shell, bone, horn, those animal pieces that are used a lot for decorative items, like knobs or pulls, or the front of a cabinet. And yeah, there are a lot of shells that you can pick up on the shore, but I'm, it's still an animal product. And the fact of the matter is, it's probably the animal's probably being killed in order to make sure that they have the right shell for that look.
Yeah.
So there are quite a few places.
Shells on the beach.
Right.
Shells, you're not doing that. And even shells on the beach, I have learned that sometimes you don't want to touch those because the other fish can use empty shells to live in or hide in from predators. So unless it's way up far on the beach where I know it's never going to end up back in the ocean, I generally don't even touch shells on the beach. So yeah.
So there's lots of places, and these animal products are luxury items. But fortunately, there are so many alternatives, and the development and the technology has research on creating light product has really blossomed. So you can find so many alternatives that look exactly the same. In fact, perform better. They're more durable. They're leather. If you write with a pen on it, it's hard to get it off, right? There are faux leathers which are graffiti free. So it still gives you the look, but you don't have to worry so much about the maintenance and the wear on it. So let's see. I have show and tell here a little bit. Like here, for instance, here is, you can probably see this. This is shiny, but here is a crocodile skin that is very, looks exactly the same, and it's a faux. So, and it comes in lots of beautiful colors.
Oh my.
Look at that. Like, it's so gorgeous. And I've used this, I wouldn't use it on a sofa, but on a small accent pieces, etc. Gorgeous. So you can replicate so many beautiful looks of the animals. I mean, animals have so many wonderful, colors and textures and feel to it that we can replicate those. We don't need to kill an animal now to get the look that we want.
Yeah, as I think you know, and as I mentioned earlier, I researched and wrote an article for the American Vegan Society about bio-derived leathers. And, companies like Hermes and Mercedes-Benz and the companies that the luxury fashion houses are actually partly leading this because they see this, they know this is the trend, this is where it's all going. And they come from, people think, oh, well, it's faux and it's made out of plastic. But no, a lot of times, and more it's getting not to be, because they know people are asking for things that are more sustainable. We have mushroom leathers, we have pineapple leathers, we have leathers made from flour and tea and all kinds of amazing cork, all kinds of amazing things. I'm sure you see this as well. And with what you do in the interior design, these things have to be durable.
Yes.
So that you've done the research and you can lead your clients to fabrics that will actually, in many cases, outperform and outlast the other animal derived, and without all the pain and suffering and horror that goes into those other materials. Yeah.
So right now the catchphrase is sustainable. That's really, it's just been booming because everybody wants a sustainable product. And, so there is a misguided thought that, well, leather is sustainable because it's natural and it'll go back and it'll get composted, because that's what happens to natural skin. But, and so some of these faux leathers aren't, because they're petroleum derived, which is true. However, the amount of resources to create that animal hide into a leather that is going to be durable and is going to last, it is, I think it's like 5 times as much resource for that, to create that hide into a leather product that can be used. Because if you even
think about, before you get to the actual production of it, just what it takes to raise the animals, the amount of
Right.
resources to raise the animals.
Yeah.
Forget it. There is nothing sustainable. And you're right. Those, I mean, we've seen leather shoes that have been around for centuries. They do not biodegrade. We've just, beat them into submission. So
yeah, I mean, they're treated with acids and preservatives, and then 90% of the hides are treated prior to being used in production in countries like India and Bangladesh, where there are no laws to stop no laws controlling the disposal of the wastewater from the process. And that's just getting flushed down into rivers, which, what's happening over in India is happening here because it's going to affect us. And then, we look at the life of they're not protecting the workers there either. So it's not just about the animals, it's also about like workers. The lifespan of a hide, somebody who processes hides, is like 50 years because
it's terrible.
Yeah,
it is terrible. And also, and I just want to realize I use this phrase, beat them into submission. What a horrible phrase. I'm so sorry. As soon as I said it, I thought, yuck, that's a terrible, terrible thing to say. But, although maybe it's fitting with what they do to animals.
Right.
Anyway, we won't go there.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about, are your clients, how hard is it to get them to think differently about going with materials that are not from an animal? Have you found that this has been challenging, or do you find that people are just finding you because, oh, she does something that, I want? I don't want to have the energy of those dead animals in my house. So what are you working with people you've been working with for years, and you say, well, here's the direction I'm going in now, and let me show you how to replace wool with this fabric? Are you finding it challenging, or are people like really open to the concepts?
Well, most of my clients are not vegans. I've had a few vegans, and but most of them are not, and they don't really come to me because I'm vegan. They come to me because of my design abilities, and I show them, look at here, I designed for that, and I'm not showing them anything less than if I was showing them an animal product. And so I've never really had an issue where I've had one issue actually where somebody desperately wanted a leather sofa. They only wanted a leather sofa, and I couldn't convince them otherwise. And so I said, okay, you go buy the sofa. This is the size and color, yada, yada, yada. But I didn't want to be part of that transaction. But the clients are, they rely on me for my expertise, and they want durability, they want beauty, they want things to feel good, they want good tactile textures. So when I can show them that what I'm offering them that what I offer them gives them that, there really isn't an argument or a confrontation about that. They're like, yeah, that looks great, it looks beautiful, like, let's go.
I love that. Now, I often tell, whenever anybody asks me, I often tell them that, I was not born being an image consultant. I had an interest in, not that I even knew what image consulting was then, but I had an interest in fashion, but I had no clue how to do it. I was, I know there are some image consultants who I swear from birth, they just know how to pull everything together. I was not one of those people. I had to go learn everything that I needed to learn. And thankfully I enjoyed it and I picked it up quickly. But are you, being in the design field and the beauty and fashion sort of field, were you designing like from the time you were like 10 years old? Were you designing things, or was it something that you just, like me, you had this, and there's no right or wrong, obviously,
right,
whatever is true for you, or did you need to go, okay, I love doing this, now I need to go learn all the concepts? Like, what was your experience in growing up and getting you into this industry?
I didn't grow up thinking, okay, I'm going to be an interior designer. I'm a very creative person. I grew up classically trained in music on the piano and cello. Yeah, really? You played cello?
Voice. No
voice. Classically trained.
Music major in college.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Wow. Okay. So, with music, I was trained in theater. I was trained classically in dance. So I have a really, creative background. And I moved my room around, and my mom made these, she's very creative. She's an artist too. She designed my room, and then I ripped it apart, and, so I'm sure that there was some of that, but I really didn't come into it until later in life. And I was pushing and, doing my friends' places. I'd go in and move things around, and my family's places are like, Risha, stop it. Because, I'm like, no, I can't stand this. We got to move this over here. This is so much better. And I realized that, I could go out and do this for a living, and I really enjoy it. And I love the transformation, and I love the way that my clients feel. I had a client like 9:00 on Saturday evening just text me saying, I'm sitting here in this living room that you've designed, and I can't tell you how good it feels. Like, it's the transformation makes me feel so good about my home, about being here. And I'm like, that's really what I want. I want my clients to feel at home, and I want them to feel that it is supporting them. It's regenerating them. It's, giving them a chance to recuperate from, we go out in the world and we're assaulted by noises and sounds and smells, and, there's a lot coming at us. So it's nice I think it's important to come home to a place that is supportive of you and reminds you, okay, this is why I'm here. This is what life is about. This is why, this is who I am. And your home should express it. And I think that's very true for your fashion too. That's what it is. I watch your videos, and you talk about that this is an expression of yourself, and you feel comfortable. And so this is, your, no, I'm speaking for you, but what you do as a fashion image consultant is a little closer to you, like on your,
right
from here. And this is just taking one step outside of yourself to create that life, to create yourself and express yourself.
And I think that it's really helpful to have you being there with people.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I remember when we were painting the living room, when we first moved in, our living room in the house was orange. And I had a friend who did feng shui, who came over, and she said, what do you do in this room? And I said, we would just relax, we read, we watch TV, all that kind of stuff. She says, you can't have your living room be orange. So the energy is just too high. You'll be like this the whole time you're sitting there instead of relaxing. And so I said, okay. So we looked for some colors, and we painted a few on the wall. And then the painter came, and he got about a third of the way through the room. And I walked in, I said, oh, it's so pretty. And he said, are you sure you like it? And I said, well, yeah. And he said, because I can change it. And I said, change it? You're a third of the way through the room. He says, you have no idea how many people, I paint the whole room, and then they go, this color is gross.
Yeah.
We have to redo it. But somebody like you who can come in and say, yeah, that color is going to be too bright, or that color is going to be too dark. And, that's just part of what you do, obviously. But your expertise can save them thousands and thousands of dollars.
It does. Yes. It's time and money. Yeah, absolutely. It's just like hiring any professional to do the work. I know I've been doing this for over a decade. I know how things turn out. I'm very visual. So I can go into a room and I can start envisioning how that room's going to look. And as I have a conversation with my clients and I get to know them, there's a whole world that I create in my head on what this room is about. And I'm very good at identifying my client's aesthetic and creating that to express who they are, and doing that fairly quickly. And I have access to lots of products. I know what's out there. I know what's coming in. I know where to get it. And as an interior designer, interior designers have a whole, or should, if you're working with an interior designer, they should have a whole number of resources available to them that's not available to the retail,
right.
To retail crowd, in retail.
Absolutely. So a couple of things. First of all, So we don't forget all the way. I'm going to put it all down in the comments. Please tell us your website so people know how to find you.
Sure. It's Walden-interiors with an S.com. That's where you can find me and my work.
Great.
I'm on Facebook at Walden Interiors. I'm on Instagram, Walden Interiors. I think that's my handle. I'm so terrible.
I think you gave it to me. So
yeah.
Instagram. Yes, it is Walden Interiors.
Oh, yay! There's something right. I'm on YouTube. I do lots of like tips and and do-it-yourself advice and talking about design. So I have a lot of videos on there. If you are interested in learning about interior design, or if you're interested in just saying, oh, maybe I want to do my own kitchen. There's lots of material there that can help you with that.
Awesome.
So I'm on YouTube and I'm on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm everywhere.
There we go. I like it. I like it. So people can go and follow you and subscribe to your YouTube channel. And
absolutely. Yeah.
And also tell us, do you work in person with people? Do you work virtually? Do you do both? What's your preferred way to work?
Well, I like in person. This particular after this past year, I'm so zoomed out. I'm really doing everything Zoom. I'm like, oh my gosh! But I do have e-design services. I can do that, and I do. I have clients on the West Coast. I have clients. I'm outside of New York City, so I have clients in the city. And I actually, during the pandemic, I did a whole kitchen in the city virtually.
Wow.
And it was through Zooms and FaceTime and through the construction and everything.
I love it. Do you ever travel out? Like you said, you have clients out in California. Do you ever travel out there to work with them in person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of work. Once I get started, I see the space. And it can really depend, because I also start jobs that haven't even been built. So I'm just working off of plans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like right now, I had a client this morning. I've worked with her for a number of years, and now they're building a new home. They just broke ground last week. So we're working off of plans.
Yeah.
So it's possible to do this work virtually. And, I like seeing people. I like talking to them. I like getting their energy. You can do it virtually.
Yeah. Great. So that's great. It's just good to know, so that people watch this from all over.
Absolutely. If they have any questions, absolutely reach out to me.
Well, the nice thing is, the last year, if it did nothing else, it showed us that a lot of what we all do can be done virtually as well as in person. So that's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your favorite room in the house to design?
Ooh.
You don't have a favorite. I don't know.
I do. I mean, I always do, because I think it's odd, because it's I love kitchens, because kitchens have so many different elements, and it's like a puzzle. You have to get all the pieces right, and it's not just about looking beautiful. The kitchen is so functional, and it's the center of our homes. So it's getting all those puzzle pieces to work together. And that's why I like the kitchen, because I love puzzles. So doing the kitchen is like doing a puzzle. There are not so many fabrics or textiles used. You're dealing with mainly hard surfaces. So, but I do love kitchens for that reason.
Oh, very fun. Very fun. And I would think that kitchens would, I don't know, I think kitchens would be hard to do on your own anyway. Because you're right, it is like a puzzle, and things need to look connected, and they have to be functional and practical and useful. And one of the things I've learned, well, in every part of my life, but also when I'm working with fashion and style with my clients, is sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And so I bet you run into that all the time when you say, oh, for your countertops, you could use this, or as a backsplash, you could do that. Or did you think about putting your refrigerator over here? Or, those kinds of things that people are like, whoa, okay, I hadn't thought about those things. I bet you run into that kind of thing a lot.
All the time. Every job, I always run into that, where, I'm thinking, this is not what people are doing regularly. So they're not thinking, okay, what are the what things outside the box can I do? And I like working outside the box. I like to think, okay, how can I switch this around to really maximize it? And putting, moving the puzzle pieces around, what's going to work, what's not going to work, and yeah, every time my clients are happy because I've thought, oh yeah, something new that they never could do.
Yeah, they wouldn't have come up on their own, or it would have taken them like 100 million hours of research to try to find something.
Right.
Yeah, you've got it at your fingertips. So.
Or they don't know, and this is the worst, is that they don't know until it's done. And they're like, oh. Like what a pet peeve, this is about kitchens, pet peeve for me is when someone does a kitchen and they forget to install a pull out trash and recycle.
Because then where do you put the trash buckets and and there's
so they got this beautiful kitchen and they got this trash can sitting somewhere in the kitchen out in the open. I'm like, oh my God, you just did a beautiful kitchen and spent 40, 50, 100,000 and you didn't put a pull out trash? How is that possible?
Yeah. That's very bad.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah. No, I would never attempt a kitchen. Never. No.
That's okay. I feel the same way about fashion. I love fashion. I like looking good. I love dressing up, but I have no patience to go in, try things on, look around. I'm like, what? I just need this. I just go and get it for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I love it. Well, that's a perfect segue into what is your favorite thing to wear? Like, what do you enjoy most wearing?
Well, I have to say that it's not really a thing, but it's a color, and I love orange. Which is funny you should say. The living room was orange. I love orange. In fact, I love orange shorts, orange dresses, orange earrings, orange shit.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it's I did an interview this morning about color in general. And one of the things we talked about, not with all the colors, but a few of them is, what's the energy of color? And orange has this vibrancy. It has this playfulness. It has, a warmth to it. It's a wonderful color. It's not always easy for everybody to wear. And I did love the orange in my living room, but I did give in and paint it. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of orange as well. Yeah. So I love that. I think
it's funny because I don't know if you can see my office behind me, but and it's a little dark. It's actually like a pumpkin orange.
I love it. That was what color the living room was. I love that color.
It's a good color.
Oh my!
But not everybody. It may not be the right color for everybody's room or for that particular room or that space. I find it very vibrant and energizing. So in my office, it's fabulous.
It's funny, but I do color palettes for people for what they wear.
Right.
And I have many times had somebody say to me, "So can I use my colors to decorate my house?" And I say, yes, absolutely, as long as everyone else in your house agrees. Because they may wear totally different colors, and so you have to make sure that's like, they aren't that hot on olive green because they don't like olive green.
Right. Yeah.
So it gets kind of tricky, but it always makes me laugh when people ask that. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, this has been just totally a blast. So if people are thinking, I really would like to reach out to Risha and just kind of get a sense of what she can do for me, is there a place on your website where they can?
Yes, absolutely. There's a contact submission form, submit, send me your name or, reach out, PM me on Facebook or wherever. There's lots of places to get a hold of me. And I'd love to have a chat.
Hey, they can even reach out to me and I will connect them if they need to. But this has been wonderful. I love what you do. I love that you're combining your creativity and your natural brilliance that way with your love of animals and, your desire just to create, rooms that are, cruelty-free, don't have all that energy of tortured animals in it. So I love that. And just to show people that, yes, you can have both. They don't have to give up a thing in order to have the beauty of the room and not be harming animals in the process. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And I know you're just the beginning you're one of the pioneers
Mhm.
in interior design. I know that, we're heading in that direction. So it's wonderful that you are stepping out there and willing to share your expertise and show people what they can do.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about the direction. My goal is that the whole world could be vegan.
Yep.
People laugh at me, but I'm like, okay, well, one day, it doesn't have to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
In fact, this year I'm taking part in the Vegan Interior Design Week. A bunch of interior designers. It's a whole conference coming in October. So if anybody's interested in that, please reach out to me. And it's a free to join, and you can learn more about vegan interior design.
I love it. I mean, look,
Yeah.
see, there's a whole week devoted to it now.
That's right.
It's wonderful. It's so exciting. It's very exciting. I
It
love
is.
I love what you do. And I hope people will go and check out your website, watch you on YouTube, all of that. And Risha, I want to thank you for being my guest today. And so it's been a real pleasure.
Thanks, Ginger. It's so much fun to talk to you. And, as a fellow vegan, there's that good energy as we like, yeah, everybody's going to be vegan. But,
Yeah.
it'll change.
We don't always see that with everyone we meet. So it's wonderful. It's great having you here. And I want to thank everybody who has been watching and will watch the replay for being here and being part of the Total Image Woman of the Week. I will share with you that I am going to be taking a little break from it through the summer. So, of course, I may pop up here and there. You just never know. But I want to thank you for watching. You can find not all of them, maybe eventually all of them, but quite a few of the ones, and Risha's will be on there as well on my YouTube channel. So you can go and watch any of the ones that you may have missed there. And so you can, have your fill of Total Image Woman of the Week there as well. And I hope you all have a truly lovely, healthy, happy, relaxing, cool, although right now it's cool around here. It's not hot like last week was, but I hope you just all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I will see you back here again at some point. So take care, everybody.
Thank you. Nice talking with you, Ginger.
Thank you. You too.